Hello, listeners. This is the NPG Podcast.
Matt, what's your topic?
So, my topic, it's more of a discussion that I want to have with you guys. But I'm learning from Steven. Steven had an actual, model plan for his top 10, and he had, written words. So I'm trying to be a little bit more professional here.
Written words, man. I had a fucking piece of paper with scribbly shit on it.
Were they written words?
Yeah, technically.
I stand by what I said. So
I can show it to you. It's fucking chicken scratch, yo.
So I would like to discuss music albums.
All right.
Was I supposed to make a list for this?
No.
Okay.
Now it's impulsive.
I guess if you want to be ahead of the curve, think about the last albums you bought and think about your favorite albums and think about your favorite songs from the albums. Okay. So if you want to think about that while I discuss. So here's the thing. I got Spotify, as I've preached. Mm-hmm. I love Spotify. I think it's the most amazing thing out there because it allows me the full album.
Right.
Unlike Pandora, which is great because it introduced me to new bands based on an algorithm of the songs that I liked. But I never got to listen to everything that artist had. So, with that being said, I've noticed that a lot of people don't really care about albums. When I'm at work, I try to play music that, everybody can kind of get along with that's around me because my speaker's loud. I don't want to play, mindless self-indulgence and people be like, oh my God, what are they saying? Stupid motherfucker. No, shut that up. I had Richard Cheese playing People Equal Shit by Slipknot. And I had a woman from all the way on the other side go, what the fuck is that? Oh, not playing Richard Cheese again, I guess. So, but anyway, the people that I work around, the thing they like the most is songs that they have heard on the radio. And that's understandable. It really is. I fully get behind that. It instantly brings up memories and everything. But I think the respect of an album is dying. And I think we are becoming a society where singles are all that matters.
Yep.
And that's all we listen to.
Oh, yeah, because it's cheap. It's 99 cents.
That too. But I also wonder what that means.
Technically, it's cheaper to buy an album.
It is.
I wonder what that means for our future as far as music goes. Because I think there will always be a place for albums when it comes to garage bands. I mean, not literal garage bands, but bands that are up and coming. Because that's where they make their money. They're not going to make their money off of the same 8 songs they played on the stage. They want to play the 12 songs from their 3 albums. Or 12 songs from their 3 albums.
Right.
So I wanted to get an opinion with you guys. Do you see album sales, or what happening? What do you think is going to happen to the album? And before we get into that, I do want to say, statistic wise, I have a amazing chart here, and it has the millions of units that were sold of everything from 8-tracks in the 70s to downloaded singles and downloaded albums. Mm-hmm. And downloaded albums equals a very, very small percentage. Looking at this chart, it looks about to be 1/13 of downloaded singles. Which is really strange when you think about the content in an album. You think about the content of an album, you have 13 songs.
Yeah, huh?
I have an opinion about that.
Go right ahead.
And
now,
I'm not
also send this to you guys so you can see it, because I think it's pretty important to actually have a visual.
And before I can go forward, I have to go back. And
back in
for
time.
me, yeah, kind of. Before we go into our favorite, albums and all that, when I was in high school and even college, I bought CDs by the drove. I mean, like, something came out, I heard one song from it, and I would just buy the whole CD, didn't give a shit. And of course, that was probably monetarily wise, that was, another time, but a lot more times than not, the song that I originally heard I liked, obviously, I bought the CD, but the rest of the CD was garbage.
Really? Okay.
And I can think of a few instances, but maybe that's... I'm not saying that everybody thinks that, but maybe that's just where it's going. Like, maybe people know that not every song on this album is going to be a winner. For them. And maybe that's why they came out with singles on, like, cassette tapes and even CDs for a while. They were like... $3 or $4 for a single CD, which is stupid in my opinion. But when I look back at it now with now with iTunes, where it's 99 cents, like, well, yeah, why would you want to pay all that extra money for songs that you may or may not like? I'm not saying that I agree with that 100%. I think that if you're willing to give one song a chance, you should give all of them a chance. But that's my personal opinion. I know not everybody's going to share that. And that's the only reason in my mind I could think of why that is.
Okay. Steven, I'm looking at this chart, and it does have a very small sliver of LPs and vinyls. I know that's you guys up there, so
With
I'm glad to see.
with your albums and 8-track.
I'm glad. No, the 8-tracks died in 82. If you look at there, but
I just picked up a vinyl of new Ray Charles album.
the new one.
Brand spanking new
What?
up here. Yeah, the new one.
I didn't see that coming.
It's like his second album. We just got that here.
Wow.
Oh,
Well, when that movie Ray comes out, you're going to be blown away. Let me tell you.
Oh my God, they made a movie about him.
They did.
Oh man,
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
It's called Walk the Line.
No.
Oh,
Wrong one.
Oh shit.
But did they spell? They should have spelled walk like Joaquin Phoenix, like for that movie, like walk the line.
They're gonna say like Christopher Walken. Have him play
Guys.
Johnny Go.
You play your music. And
Oh, look at these fucking statistics.
And then-
Holy shit!
Burning, Ringer, Fire. Oh, it's actually more
yeah,
Shatner.
Shatner. Yeah. Let's just admit that some of our impressions are terrible. So yeah.
Yeah. See, what about this? What's the last album you guys bought?
The last album I bought
Full
was
disclosure.
3 years ago.
Wow.
And that was the latest Dave Matthews one, which was not good.
Okay. Cool. Steven?
Which broke my heart.
Well, okay, so I had not bought a single item of music in years. I think the very last actual album that I had bought was like this. Not counting. Like, does this count like thrift store finds as well?
Yeah,
Does that
I mean,
count?
seriously, I think any time you buy a physical piece, that's good for anybody's mind because you're expounding your knowledge of a certain band.
Okay,
It's
so
not
the
giving
last-
money to the band, of course, but
Well, yeah. Well, prior to this, the last time I bought a CD was, I think it would have been Offspring, Splinter, years and years ago. And then I did not buy a single physical album until I found Now 2 in the thrift store. I'm like, fucking 90s shit, yo! So I bought that.
nice.
As far as
Go ahead.
Like, I haven't actually spent any money on digital music at all either, because I would like redeem codes from, like, you guys remember iCoke?
Yep.
Well, we had a similar thing. It was MyCoke Rewards. Not nearly as good, like everything here, but still okay. So I redeemed a couple of songs that way.
Don't sell
Should
yourself
not
short,
get-
Steven. You got good maple syrup.
You guys do have a good maple syrup.
That's true.
Your
Money
money
smells
smells
good money
money.
that smells like it. Yes, money, yes. So, that being said, Splinter was the last album, and then most recently it was Now 2. I got that a year ago for the way.
I was I was listening to Splinter just last week. I am obsessed with music. I think it's probably the most important thing in my world. The only two things that I could honestly say I would hate to live life with is not being able to walk.
Herpes?
No, I'm okay with that still.
Okay.
It's all right.
Okay.
Really not that bad. No, I'm just kidding. So walking, because I don't know why, I just love that freedom. And being able to listen to music. I would despise a world without music.
I agree.
Yeah, but if it never existed, how would you know?
Well, if somebody came along and outlawed it all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah.
I think music is natural because you have birds tweeting, you have rivers that babble in a certain rhythm. It's not something that would have never have come about. Every culture has music.
Tap your fingers on
regardless.
Your fucking annoyed.
Right. Every culture has music. It's a natural thing for humans.
Calm down, Steven.
Shut up.
You shut up.
Make sure you have a Kleenex nearby. So, I would like to say that some of my favorite songs of all time have been album exclusive. That it goes for The Offspring. That goes for Gorillaz. That goes for Blur, since Gorillaz. That goes for shit. That goes for a shit ton of bands. I can't even think of them all right now. I think albums are a very important part of music, but they're going away. But I think they will always hold ground with startup bands. But we can't argue the fact that most people make their money now off of the singles.
Yeah.
What the hell just happened here?
I don't know what happened.
You have a ghost?
Oh, I have a ghost. Did you guys hear that?
I heard a ghost.
That was weird.
That might have been my pillow falling, but that's the only thing I can think it could have been.
So I want to end this with this statement from this is me becoming a professional. Yeah.
Calm down.
From Bob Lefsitz, who's a music analyst. If your plan is to increase your audience, spread the word, and make money, suddenly the album just isn't working anymore. We've turned into a nation of grazers, and the artist's job is to constantly be at the smorgasbord, not to deliver one big meal that is picked at and thrown away, but to constantly prove tantalizing bites to the public.
Makes sense.
And I think to bands like, oh, and by the way, one of my favorite bands is actually Canadian. I mean, I don't hold that against them too much.
Stars?
But Enter the Haggis. And they are an Irish, Scottish kind of band, folk band. And they, I've been listening to them all day today, actually. And I live off their albums because they don't have singles. They don't have things that are played on the radio. But they do have singles where they make music videos that they deem some of their best songs. But I think album is where the real meat and potatoes are.
Well, yeah, when you can find an album that speaks to you in whatever way, then that's a special thing. But I just don't know if there's enough albums out there. I mean, of course, it depends on the person too, right? But no, I agree with what you just read.
Do you guys
and I was like you. I spent. Go ahead.
Do you guys give a shit about Garth Brooks?
No.
Okay, well, he refuses to sell any of his shit piecemeal. He's like album or nothing. So you can't find any of his shit on YouTube, like single songs. It's all fucking covers and like karaoke shit. And you cannot buy a single on any music platform. You can't even find them on like Spotify or Apple Music. Because fuck you, you're buying my album or you ain't buying shit.
Well, hopefully that's going good for him.
I hope so too.
Have you ever seen his wife's diamond ring? Yes, it's going well for him.
We just lost
his wife's his what? Can you hear me?
There you go.
I can, yeah.
Oh, his wife's diamond ring could like buy and sell countries. All right, I'm serious. I was watching some cooking show with my mom, and I was like, "Who the hell is this woman? Why is she even famous?" Oh, that's Garth Brooks' wife. And I said, "Well, what is she going to mix with? That goddamn thing on her hand? Because it's just huge." So yeah, I think he's doing all right.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I'm looking him up right now, and that's an amazing bit of information. Got to respect him for that.
I wonder if he's doing the
In my
Chris
opinion.
Gaines album in single form.
I don't know his music well enough to know anything about that. Oh, that's right. The his Ultra Persona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris something.
Yeah,
Chris Gaines.
Chris Gaines. Yep.
I wonder if
Got
that's
all
been a
about
single,
that.
because yes, so did the rest of the world until I mentioned it.
Chris
No, when you
Gaines.
mentioned Garth Brooks, that was
What?
the first thing that I thought about, but I couldn't remember his name, and I don't remember any of his songs. But anyway, I think Spotify will eventually kind of do what CD sales used to do. I'm like you, Brian. I spent easily $100 every month on a slow month on CDs. I have a huge CD collection, and I love it. But
I got rid of mine.
I maybe had like 20 to max my entire life. Now I have like,
Okay.
I'm more of a single person. Like, that's why I love the music things like Spotify and buying single songs, because Matthew Good is like my favorite artist, right? Like, I fucking love him. And there are very scattered songs of his that I like. There's approximately like maybe 30 to 40 of them out of his like 80 or 90 songs, and the other ones I just can't even really listen to. It's just like I don't really like this very much. But the ones that I do, I fucking love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever get a chance, listen to Hoobastank.
I found a
Hoobastank.
reason for me.
Oh, you have that, but Ray Charles just now got to you? Oh my god, how backwards is that place?
But if you listen to Hoobastank,
The upside down over here.
their entire album sounds like it could be singles.
Yeah, it's all like very self-contained.
Yeah, it's a very amazing album. That one album. So I would highly recommend listening to that as an example of what a good album is. When you want something from a band and you want more of it, that's where you go for it. Like Linkin Park. Think about Linkin Park. Everybody had that. You know, they had a great
I
CD.
tell the story, man. It was like it had to be sequential. It all fucking mixed in one another.
Right.
I love Meteora. Fuck, that was a great
Meteora's
album.
a goddamn great album. Yeah.
So I got a note from a listener here that Garth Brooks refuses all digital media. He needs his albums to be taken as a whole. So like physical only for this guy, apparently.
That's a bold move,
It really is.
considering like nobody buys CD. But I wonder, part of me wonders if, like, I understand country is big for a lot of people, but I wonder if it's as big. Like, I'm trying
It's
to
still
figure
big down south.
out. Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Never mind. I thought I was going somewhere with that, but I guess not.
I mean, when
I
you
think
look at
Taylor
country,
Swift also doesn't.
oh
Like,
no,
Taylor
so
Swift won't allow her
T
stuff
Swift
on that,
is
just that.
she's not even on Spotify. So
No, she refuses. So
yeah,
And that really sucks, because I really wanted to fucking hear that. What the fuck is that song?
I wear
out-
these
Sonic.
pants. You wear
Shake it.
those pants.
I like pants.
I wear pants.
Yeah.
Pants.
Oh, that T Swift.
Yeah, actually, so Garth Brooks is also not on Spotify.
Right, because digital.
Yep. Just like T Swift, the only songs you can get are ones that are actually licensed to different companies. Like Taylor Swift has stuff that's licensed with Hunger Games, so those are on there.
Right. Shit that she's already made her proper money for licensing.
Yep.
Right. Huh.
Okay. To keep it going really quick.
Yeah, go on.
Favorite album ever, and the best album you've heard recently.
Shit. I haven't heard a full album recently.
God damn it. One of my favorite albums is the Pulp Fiction soundtrack.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's
Uh-huh.
just
I
I can listen to that one a lot, but I'm gonna have to go with Third Eye Blind's
Really?
self-titled album. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God, but Gorillaz always has me with just about it.
Yeah, it's hard.
So, but I'm gonna go with Third Eye Blind. Yeah, I carried that CD with me all through high school and still carry to this day. And I've bought that one probably about 4 or 5 times.
I think for me, the automatic go-to is Dave Matthews Band, Under the Table and Dreaming. And for some reason, that CD literally changed my life. And people say like, "Oh, it'll change your life." Most of the time, no, it doesn't. It changed my life. Like after getting that CD this summer, it came out, and I went back to school. I think I was in like a junior in high school. Like everything changed. Like my whole disposition. Like I don't know what it was, but everything was just like awesome.
Nice.
Please note
So
that
you
that's
had
the
a-
album that's credited.
Like you had an Office Space moment.
Kinda, yeah. And like for a long time too. Like I was just like, yeah, all right, cool. Life doesn't suck right now. Because before I was into grunge. Like if you asked me like what like going back to like the grunge era, I would probably tell you like Stone Temple Pilots' Purple album.
That
would
had
be
Plush on it.
Plush had a Core. Core
Yeah.
had Plush on it, yeah.
Oh, Core had Plush. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sunday Girl is on.
Yeah.
that one.
No, Sour Girl is on number 4.
God damn, I don't remember my STP albums anymore then. Shit.
But as far as a recent one though, I'm going to say 1975 self-titled album.
That was a great album.
Oh yeah, that's right. Recent. I forgot about that. Recent. All right. How about the last album I bought? It's been a couple months, but I bought a group called Nightmares on Wax. They're very stoner music. It's funny how much stoner music I listen to that I'm not a stoner, but I have to say that for work purposes.
Okay.
But they have a song on there called "You Wish," and it's just holy shit. Just lay back, relax, listen to this. It's fantastic.
Cool. Steven, you want to end this topic?
Yeah, so best album ever would be A Boy Named Goo by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Good one.
That fucking I burned out a CD player listening to that.
He's like, I don't
Like
want
I
to do
put
this
that on
anymore.
every night. Like I just like, and that was actually an album I could listen to start to finish, just like every single time. Because like, there's the songs that are done by the main guy John Resnick, and then there's the
Right.
other one by Robbie Tekach.
Yes.
And the Robbie ones, nobody really gives a shit about. You never hear any of those
I
on the
do.
radio. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. And nobody gives a shit about Robbie though. And I'm like, oh, who's this guy? He's a scratchy voice guy. He sounds like this, yeah. And fucking, and I heard his songs and I'm like, hey, he's pretty cool. I like this. Yeah, all right. So,
Right.
and the Robbie songs can become some of my favorites actually of the Goo Goo Dolls. So that one kind of sticks with me just as part of my youth as being one of my favorite albums ever.
Okay.
Most recently, an album by a local musician, not so much local, he's from I think Kingston or something like that, somewhere close by. He opened up for Matt Good when we went to see him in concert last December. His name is Scott Hellman. I bought his album because it was on for $1. Really?
Actually, yeah, it does. That last name sounds familiar. And it's not because I know somebody with that last name. Like, I literally, musically wise, I think I heard about him.
Okay. Well, that's good. Maybe you like saw like a thing posting on my thing or something.
Well,
Who knows?
that could be it, but to be fair, I don't listen to the radio. Like, I'm the biggest
You would
snob
not
when it
be on
comes to
American
radio.
radio.
Yeah.
Like if you don't
I
know what the
go-
Tragically Hip is, you'd never hear about him.
Like, I'm like if everybody was going to brand me as a hipster, it would be for my music choices now. Because I don't listen to the radio. I don't give a shit what's in the radio for the most part. Every once in a while, there's a winner. But I'll go to Metacritic, I'll go to Rolling Stone first before I ever listen to a radio again.
They play some really good stuff on the Mexican radio.
They do.
Whoa, on the Mexican radio.
Yo.
Whoa. Sorry.
I really don't listen to a whole lot of music now either. The only music I'll actually probably listen to is like the recent incarnation of the alternative genre.
Yes.
Like
I
I
don't
like
even
a
know
lot of the like the 1975 is a recent incarnation of alternative.
Right.
What do you guys do
Or,
during sex?
Florence and the Machine. Like Florence and the Machine is new for me. I've discovered them and I enjoy them very much.
What do you mean for music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listen to my wife. That's music to my ears.
Somebody's
Yeah.
getting some.
Pew, pew.
I like some, like Metalocalypse or Among Amarth, some death metal playing. That really gets my blood going. Anyway.
Goo Goo Dolls, though, the one after, I think it's Dizzying Up the Girl, I think was the next one. After.
Yeah, Dizzy was the next one.
That's the one I identify with the most. Not that the other one was bad by any stretch of imagination, but I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that was also like that was in my Goo Goo Dolls phase, so that was right up there.
Yeah.
And then I kind of lost it after Gutterflower.
I like Gutterflower for the most part. The other guy who sings, not Resonant, but the other guy that you mentioned, he has a song on there that I really like. And it's early on in the CD, but I can't remember the name of it to save my life. Anyway.
It was on Gutterflower?
Yeah.
Guys, I'm sorry for making this go on for so long, but I'm going to end it with this one last thing.
Okay.
You guys remember Celebrity Deathmatch?
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I remember when MTV was taking in requests, I sent in Goo Goo Dolls versus Foo Fighters. I always thought that'd be
The Foo Fighters.
5-3, but yeah, I'd rather Foo Fighters win, but yeah, that's all.
Okay.
The track was You Never Know.
Yes, I like that song.
That's like the first song he does in that album.
Yep.
That was a great one too, actually. Gutterflower was probably the last good one
Yeah.
that I enjoyed.